Welcome back to Chat English, where we teach you the exact messages and replies you actually need in real life. Today, we are going to give you the ultimate cheat code for the most stressful conversation of your entire work week. It is exactly 9 o'clock on a Monday morning. You hear that loud ding from a Slack or Teams notification, and a coworker types, "Morning, how was your weekend?" Your mind goes completely blank, panic sets in, and you just want to type "good" and hide.
I remember when I started my first office job, I actually hated Monday mornings. Not because of the work, but because I was too stressed trying to translate my weekend into English. So I always just said, fine, thanks, and I sounded so incredibly boring.
Stop stressing, because today you are getting 3 copy-paste reply formulas so you always know exactly what to say, whether you did a lot or absolutely nothing at all.
Let us start with the first scenario, which is probably the most common one for me, the lazy weekend. We all have those weekends where we do absolutely nothing, but it feels strange to say that to a coworker.
It really does. Dave, what does a lazy weekend actually look like for you?
Well, on a lazy weekend, I completely ignore my alarm clock. I usually sleep until at least 9 in the morning, which feels amazing. Then I stay in my pajamas until noon. I sit on my sofa, I drink about 3 cups of hot coffee, and I just watch cooking videos on my phone for hours.
Me too. My bed is just so warm and comfortable on a Sunday morning, especially in the winter. Leaving the house feels like too much work.
Exactly. I completely understand that feeling. Our work weeks are so busy and loud, sometimes the mind just needs silence. But here is the problem. When Monday morning comes and my coworker asks, "How was your weekend?" if I just say, "I did nothing," it sounds a little bit sad. It makes me sound like I have no friends or no life outside of the office.
Right. Saying nothing is a total conversation killer. It makes the other person feel awkward, and then the conversation just stops. It makes you sound depressed, even if you are actually very happy and rested. So instead of saying nothing, we're going to use a specific formula. We use the phrase, "I just took it easy."
Took it easy. That is a great phrase. But what does it actually mean? Am I taking something from someone?
No, you're not taking an object. To take it easy is a very natural native expression. It means you relaxed on purpose. It means you chose to rest. So instead of sounding boring, you sound like you were in control of your energy. You say, "It was great. I just took it easy."
Ah, I love that. It changes the emotion completely. It turns doing nothing into a positive choice. Resting is important for a new start on Monday, and this phrase shows that you value your rest.
Exactly. There's another really wonderful phrase you can use for this exact same situation. You can say, "I kept it low key."
Low key. That's a funny word, like a piano key or a key for a door.
That's exactly what it sounds like, but no. In English conversation, when we describe an event or weekend as low key, it means it was quiet, relaxing, and involved very little effort. There were no big parties, no crowded places, and no stressful travel. Just a quiet, peaceful time.
That is perfect. So if my coworker messages me right now and says, "Morning, Dave, how was your weekend?" I can type back, "It was really nice. I just kept it low key. I watched some movies and drank a lot of coffee."
Yes, that is a perfect reply. You gave a polite answer, you used a natural native phrase, and you shared one tiny, safe detail about the movies and the coffee. It shows you're friendly, but you don't have to write a long essay about your weekend.
I use that formula all the time. It really takes the pressure off. But Jessica, what happens when you actually did not rest at all? What if your weekend was full of chores and errands and you're exhausted?
That brings us to our second formula, the busy weekend. Sometimes Monday morning feels like a break because your Saturday and Sunday were so full of work at home.
Yes, absolutely. Jessica, do you ever have those weekends where you feel more tired on Monday than you did on Friday afternoon?
Oh, all the time. Just last weekend, I had to wash all the windows in my apartment. I did 3 massive loads of laundry, and then I had to go to the crowded supermarket to buy groceries for the week. The line at the cash register was so long. My feet were literally hurting by the time I carried all the heavy bags back to my kitchen.
I know that feeling exactly. The supermarket on a Saturday afternoon is an absolute nightmare. Everyone has the same idea, and it's just so loud and busy.
It really is. And when my coworker asks how my weekend was, I want to be honest and say I was busy, but I don't want to sound negative or angry. I don't want to start my Monday morning by complaining to my team.
That is a very smart boundary to have. You want to be professional, but honest. So for the busy weekend, we use a different formula. We use the phrase, I ended up.
Wait, ended up? Did the weekend end up going somewhere? Like up into the sky?
I know, it sounds strange. Ended up is a phrase native speakers use constantly. It means you did something that you did not originally plan to do, or you did much more than you expected. You use ended up to explain the final result of your time. For example, you can say, I ended up cleaning the whole apartment.
Ah, I see. So we're using the past simple tense here because the weekend is finished. The actions are complete. We say, I ended up cleaning or I ended up doing laundry. This is a great grammar pattern to practice. You just take I ended up and add the action you did.
Exactly. It is a soft way to explain that your weekend was busy without sounding like you were complaining. Let us practice this past simple pattern so our listeners can hear how natural it sounds. Jessica, what is another chore you did?
Well, I noticed my closet was very messy, so I could say to my coworker, I ended up organizing my entire closet.
That is fantastic. A clean house is a happy house, right? It makes you feel so much better during the week. For me, my car was making a strange noise, so I could say, I ended up spending Saturday fixing my car.
Perfect. You can also use this if you had to work on the weekend. You can say, I ended up catching up on some emails. It tells your coworker that you are productive, but in a very casual, conversational way.
And if you are enjoying these simple formulas and want to feel confident in your English conversations every single week, hit the subscribe button right now. It helps us create more practical cheat codes to make your daily life easier and less stressful.
We really appreciate everyone who subscribes and practices with us. So we have covered the lazy weekend and we have covered the busy weekend. But Dave, what about the third type of weekend?
Ah, yes. The third scenario is the social weekend. This is when you actually leave your house, put on nice clothes, and see other human beings.
This is a fun weekend, but it can actually be the hardest one to talk about in English. Dave, when you go out on the weekend, do you prefer going to a big, loud party or having a small, quiet dinner?
I definitely prefer a small dinner with just a few close friends. We usually go to this little Italian restaurant near my apartment. The pasta is amazing, the lighting is warm, and we just sit at the table and talk for hours and hours.
That sounds absolutely perfect. Good food and good friends make life so much better. Laughing together is the best medicine for a stressful work week.
It really is. I always feel so much lighter after spending time with my friends. But here's the challenge. On Monday morning, when I'm talking to my boss or my colleague, how do I explain this wonderful social weekend without talking for 10 minutes?
That's the biggest trap for English learners. You try to tell the whole story, you get lost in the vocabulary, you forget the past tense, and suddenly you feel awkward because you're oversharing. Your coworker just wanted to say a quick hello, and now they're trapped in a very long story about your dinner.
Exactly. We need to learn how to summarize a social weekend naturally.
Let us do a quick quiz for our listeners right now. I'm going to give you 3 options. Imagine you're sitting at your desk and your coworker messages you, Hey, how was your weekend? Which of these 3 options is the best, most natural reply if you went out with friends? Listen closely.
Option A, I went to an Italian restaurant at 7 o'clock on Saturday. I ate spaghetti with tomato sauce. Then I talked to my friend Sarah about her new job, and then we walked home at 10 o'clock.
Option B, it was good. I went out.
Option C, It was great. I just grabbed dinner with some friends. Take a few seconds and think about your answer. Say it out loud right now. Is it A, B, or C?
If you chose A, that's a very grammatically correct sentence, but it's way too much detail for Monday morning small talk. It's oversharing.
And if you chose B, it was good, I went out, that's too short. It sounds a little bit rude, like you don't want to talk to them at all.
So the correct answer is C. It was great. I just grabbed dinner with some friends. This is the perfect balance. It's friendly, it's brief, and it sounds incredibly native.
But wait, Dave, you used the word grabbed. Grabbed dinner? Like you took the dinner with your hands and ran away?
I know, English is so weird sometimes. In casual conversation, when we say we grabbed food or grabbed a drink, it doesn't mean we used our hands aggressively. It just means we went somewhere to get food or drinks in a casual, relaxed way. That is such a useful piece of vocabulary. You can use it for almost anything social. You can say, I grabbed coffee with my sister, or I grabbed a few drinks with my old college roommates.
Yes, and notice how we use the past simple again. I grabbed. It happened in the past and now it is over. It is a quick, happy detail to share with your coworker before you both start working.
So now we have our three formulas. If you rested, you say, I kept it low key. If you did chores, you say, I ended up cleaning. And if you were social, you say, I grabbed dinner with friends. But Dave, we are missing the most important part of the entire conversation.
We are. The formulas are great, but if you stop talking after you use them, you will create a very uncomfortable situation. You have to use the final step, which we call the bounce back.
The bounce back? What does that mean? Are we playing basketball in the office?
It is a lot like playing a game. Think of a conversation like a game of tennis. Your coworker hits the ball to you by asking, how was your weekend? You use one of our formulas to hit the ball, but then you have to hit the ball back to them across the net. If you do not ask them a question in return, the game stops, the ball drops, and there is just awkward silence.
Ugh, I hate the awkward silence. You are both just standing there in the office kitchen, holding your coffee cups, listening to the refrigerator hum, waiting for someone to speak. Or you're staring at the chat screen, watching the little typing dots appear and disappear. Your heart beats fast, you worry about your grammar, and you worry about being awkward.
It is the absolute worst feeling in the office. You feel like you failed the social test. To avoid that silence, you must immediately bounce the question back to them. And we have two perfect, natural questions you can use every single time.
The first one is very simple. After you give your answer, you just add, how about you?
How about you is the golden rule of small talk. It is polite, it shows you care about their life, and most importantly, it takes the pressure off of your English. You only have to speak for 10 seconds, and then they do the rest of the talking.
That is the true secret of confident speakers. They ask questions, so the other person does the work. But there is a second, even more native-sounding phrase you can use for the bounce back. You can say, did you get up to much?
Get up to much? Are we reaching up high to get something off a tall shelf?
No, we are not reaching for anything. To get up to much is a very common idiom. It simply means, did you do anything interesting or significant? It's a very friendly, casual way to ask about their weekend activities.
I love that phrase. Did you get up to much? Let us put the whole puzzle together so our listeners can hear the complete rhythm of the conversation. I'll be the coworker on Slack, and Jessica, you use the lazy weekend formula plus the bounce back. Ready?
I'm ready.
Morning, Jessica. How was your weekend?
It was really nice, thanks. I just took it easy and watched some movies. How about you? Did you get up to much?
That sounds so natural. It flows perfectly. Now let's try the busy weekend. Morning, Jessica. How was your weekend?
Oh, it was productive. I ended up doing laundry and cleaning the whole apartment. How about you?
Excellent. And finally, the social weekend. Morning, Jessica. How was your weekend?
It was great. I just grabbed dinner with some friends on Saturday. Did you get up to much?
See how easy that is? It takes all the fear out of Monday morning. You don't have to translate complex stories from your native language. You just choose your formula, share one small detail using the past simple, and bounce it right back.
It really shows that no matter what kind of weekend you have, there's a simple, predictable pattern for it. We all have similar routines. Your coworker just wants to connect with you for a moment before the busy week starts. They want to say hello and feel like part of a team.
Exactly. It shows that everyone has a routine and we all do similar things. Your weekend was probably busy or relaxing too, and we want to know about it.
We want to practice with you right now, in the comments. This is your active practice for the day. Tell us in the comments, did you take it easy or did you end up doing a lot this weekend?
Use the exact formulas we taught today. Write in the comments, this weekend I took it easy because, or this weekend I ended up doing a lot because. We love reading your stories in English. It is the absolute best way for you to practice what you learn.
It really is great practice for you. And please, if you enjoyed our chat today and found these copy-paste formulas helpful, hit the like button. It makes us very happy. And share this episode with your friends or colleagues who are also learning English. If someone you know hates Monday morning small talk, they can listen to us and learn these cheat codes too.
Now that you have survived Monday morning at the office, what happens when a friend texts you on Thursday evening to make plans for the weekend? You need a completely different set of vocabulary for that. Click the video on your screen right now to learn the exact texts to send to set up your next weekend's social event without feeling pushy or awkward.
Well, Dave, it is time for us to go. I have to go and prepare for my Monday morning meetings. I am sure I will get a lot of messages asking about my weekend today.
Good luck with your meetings and your messages, Jessica, and good luck to everyone listening at home or on the bus or walking to work. You are going to do great this week. Be confident and use your formulas.
Thank you, Dave. It was a pleasure talking with you today.
The pleasure was all mine. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Bye.
See you next time. Bye-bye.